Hey Francine and everyone else over at Suntria. This is Brian from Lead Hounds, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 things that you can start doing to bring in more customers through your website. So I know that solar companies rely heavily on door-to-door salesmen, door knocking, solar sales companies, all of that, and that's very valuable. But what I've noticed in researching the industry is not many people are taking advantage of the websites that they already own. They're not bringing in new customers through their website. And these 3 things I'm going to show you are going to help you to do just that. So it's like having an extra salesman that doesn't cost nearly as much, right? So I mentioned those 3 strategies, but what are we actually talking about here? What's the goal of those strategies? Well, that's going to revolve around what's called buyer intent keywords. And that is a word or phrase that someone is going to search for when they want to pay for a service. So for Suntria, that would be something like Solar Panels Dallas. I saw that you guys serve the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You could basically do this for any of those cities you serve. But let's take Dallas as an example. So I went ahead and searched for that, and we can take a look at what comes up. At the top, as always, is going to be the paid ads, right? You pay Google and they stick you at the top, but most people skip those. Then you have the map section. We're going to come back to that. And finally, we have the organic listings, right? And this is where most of the website traffic is going to go. And what these are is the websites that show up without having to pay a dime to Google. So we can see here, we have some of your competitors, Sunrun. I know they're in a bunch of cities too. DFW Solar Electric. And then if we scroll down, we can look for Suntria. And so we're down to the second page, right? And still not seeing, no, so Suntria is not on the first 2 pages. So that basically means that for all the people searching for Solar Panels Dallas, you're not going to be getting any website traffic, 0 clicks to your website. They're all going to be going to the links on this first page, and especially these top 3. So then you got to ask, well, how many people is that? Do I even care about those people searching this? And we can take a look at how many people that is. We can search that keyword in this tool I use called Ahrefs, which gives me search engine data. And here we have it, Solar Panels Dallas. And you can see that it gets 1,100 searches every single month. Right? And if we go down this list, there's another 500 for Dallas solar panels, another 150 for Solar Panels Dallas. So you got thousands of people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area searching for a service that you provide over at Suntria, right? But if you're not showing up on Google for those, nobody's going to find your website. And again, you could do this same thing for any of those cities you serve, right? Just change Dallas to Houston or El Paso, something like that. You're going to get a similar list. So what keywords are you showing up for? Well, we can take a look at that too. So I went ahead and searched Suntria, and you show up for 272 keywords. Let's check those out. I'll sort by the top position. And you are showing up number 1 for a few, but let's see what those are. So they're basically all Suntria related, right? So these are people that already know about you. I'm sure your door knocking salesman probably went out and called the people searching this stuff, and then they decided, okay, well, I'm going to at least check this company out, make sure they're not some spammer. So that's good to show up for these. But they're not going to get you any new customers, right? These are not those buyer intent keywords, right? And if we scroll down a little bit, you can see we're already into 15th ranked on Google, into the 20s, and realistically, nobody's searching that far in the Google results to find a business they want to work with. They're going to stay on that first page. So let's look at one of your competitors, DFW Solar. I think they were like number 1 or 2 for that keyword we searched. And look at their keywords, Solar Panels Dallas, Solar Dallas, right? These are all those buyer intent keywords. And you can see just in these first 5, that's already over 2,000 searches every single month. And they're showing up in the top 3 to 5 for all of these. If we look at the results here, this is what we searched before, right? So they're actually number 2 in the organic listings because we got the local map pack, and we got the related questions. So, those don't really count. So they're showing up at the very top for all these searches and getting a ton of website traffic. So how can we beat them out for those top spots? And that's going to come back to those 3 strategies I mentioned at the start of the video. So the first of those is going to be the content on your website. And what I mean by that is what Google wants to see in terms of content, which is about 1,500 to 2,000 words of content. And it should contain those keywords that you want to target, like solar panels Dallas. So if we look at your website, suntria.com, we can scroll down and the website looks great, definitely done by a pro. And you have a decent amount of content, not too bad. But as we get towards the bottom, I think you probably have around 500 words. It's not quite at that 1,500 to 2,000 that we talked about. So then here's DFW. And if we scroll down for them, so they don't have too much content either. But that's a good thing, right? That means that in the content department, they're going to be easy to beat. We just have to add that bare minimum of 1,500 to 2,000 words, and we'll be winning in terms of content. Okay, so let's move on to the second strategy, which is what's called backlinks. So a backlink is when another website posts a link that goes to your website. And what this does is it tells Google that 1, you're a credible business, and 2, that you're relevant to what those backlinks are talking about, right? So if they're solar websites, that's like an extra strong backlink because it tells you that you are a good solar company. Okay, so we can see that you have 75 backlinks here. So that probably means you've been putting some resources into your digital marketing. But then why aren't you showing up for these searches? Well, let's take a look at your competitor, DFW. So they have 114 backlinks, right? So right there you can see that they're beating you out in that department. And what can we do about that? So we can go in and we can look at all their backlinks, right? We can go down this list one by one and get you a link from their website so that we can make sure that you're matching their strategy. And not only that, we can go ahead and add 100 more backlinks so that we're not just matching them, but we're blowing them out of the water. And at LeadHounds, what we like to do is use this network of websites that we own that are specifically designed for backlinking. And they have extra credibility on the internet, and they're going to get you a boost that all these websites that DFW is using, they're not going to give them the same effect, right? Okay, so that's backlinks. Wanted to talk about one more thing, and that is the Google Maps section, right? So I'm sure you've seen this. You search for a business, you got the map right here, and then the 3 featured businesses. So it's going to be really important to come up in these top 3 businesses because these actually get about 30 to 40% of the clicks that come from searches like solar panels Dallas. So how do you get in these top 3? Well, one strategy we like to use is called citations. And a citation is kind of like a backlink, except instead of going to your website, it goes to your Google Maps listing. So we can basically look at the top businesses here, see how many citations they have, and make sure we're matching that, and again, just blowing them out with an extra 100 citations. And on top of that, we can go through and optimize all of your images and all the different fields that Google lets you fill out on your Google Maps listing. All right, so those are the 3 things I wanted to talk about. Again, that's going to be the content on your website, 1,500 to 2,000 words. The backlinks, right? We want to match your competitor. Add 100 more. Make sure they're coming from strong websites. They're giving you that extra search power. And finally, we want to get you in those top 3 spots in the Google Maps section so you can get that extra traffic. All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. I really hope it was valuable to you. If it was, give me a call or shoot me an email, and we can talk about the next steps. All right, thanks.